Hi everyone, I hope that you're having an awesome Saturday night and that your weekend's been off to a good start. I thought that I'd share a painting that I'm going to be doing tonight, and this one, the idea for the colours was actually given to me by Mandy. So Mandy, I hope that you enjoy watching this one. So I've already prepared my colours. I've got a soft lime green, a light blue, metallic blue, white and pink. And I've already laid my cups, and because of the size of the canvas, I've prepared 3 cups. So these 3 will be poured onto the canvas, and then I'll be tilting it. But I'll just move them off for now. And I'm going to go quiet for a little while I do this, because it is actually something I need to concentrate on. So here goes. And that's looking really pretty already. I'm just going to slowly walk that back. And then back up again. And as I'm doing that, you can see the patterns that are forming in the paint, and it hasn't even been tilted yet. And I'll just grab that off. Okay, so that's one cup that's been poured. And I'll just start with the second one, and I'm going to do that at a slightly different angle. So this one's coming out with a lot more blue. I'm actually using a bit of a trick here that separates the paint. So as I'm pouring out the cup, it's actually coming out in 2 streams, which I don't know if you can see on the camera. And that's what causes that nice feathering effect. Okay, there's the second one. Now for the third one, and I haven't actually left myself much room at this end of the canvas, so I might need to re-pour some of the paint from the cup in another position. I might start off at this top corner. And I'll just walk that down the canvas very slowly. And I don't know if you can see on the camera or not, you might be able to see my arm. I'm actually wearing my Thumper pajamas. I love painting in my pajamas. Some of you have probably heard me mention that before. They're really, really comfortable. But I think that I've actually ruined a few pairs of pajamas now. Or at least maybe not ruined them, but covered them in paint anyway. So I'm just going to bring this one around to the front here and then drop that off. And that's got a beautiful feather effect right there. And now I'm just going to cover my corners because that helps the paint to flow off when I'm tilting the canvas. And this size canvas is actually pretty hard to tilt once it's covered in paint, because it's a pretty big canvas and they're pretty heavy. So I'm just going to use up all these bits from the cups. Just pour that around to the canvas, and that will help the rest of the paint to flow as I'm tilting the canvas. And I might just pour a little bit more around here, because there's not very much paint there. And I've actually got my canvas sitting up on a piece of foam from a food delivery that I had quite some time ago. So I'm actually really happy that I saved those pieces of foam because they're really handy. Alright, so now I'm just going to give it a quick torch with my new heat gun. And I haven't actually used this before, so I hope I don't set anything on fire. And that was quite easy. That was a lot easier than the other heat gun that I had been using, and a lot quieter too. I'll just sit that on my oven so it cools down a bit. Okay, and just wipe my hands for a second. That is looking so pretty. Really pretty. I think I'm going to love this one. I have some problems when I'm painting. I fall in love with my paintings and I don't want to move them along. So I did mention it. Here's my thumper pajamas. They're really velvety and really comfortable. All right, so I might get this underway. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of the lime green that I made up once again, and just pour that around just to make it easier for the paint to flow off as I'm moving the canvas. And I want to be really careful while I'm tilting it because there's some beautiful patterns there, and that's the problem when you start moving the canvas. It's actually, as I said, it's quite heavy, and we don't want to lose some of these beautiful patterns in here. So I'm just really slowly just moving the paint around on a canvas, and this is an 800 by 400. I'm really liking this piece and this one. I'm not so sure about that middle one yet. To move this along so that I can tilt, and the trick is to not tilt too fast. Once again, it's about keeping the composition of the effects on the canvas. So I am going to tilt towards that bottom corner a bit, and then I'll bring it back so that I don't lose that beautiful feather. Just pull that back. And as I said, the trick is to do it nice and slow, but it is a bit hard when you've got this much paint on the canvas to do it slow, because the weight of the paint. Okay. So I'm not really liking that centerpiece yet. But I've learned that sometimes when you don't like things while you're actually creating them, I've learnt now to walk away for a little while and come back and have another look at it later on. Okay, so I'll just tilt it off that bottom corner. And you can see already that the shapes have started to shift. And I just need to keep doing that to get an effect that I really like. I'm just going to run some of that off. And there's actually some beautiful blue feathering happening there. Pull this back towards me a bit. Go to that top corner. Okay. Lift that top corner. I just need to get that to fall off the edge. Okay, and while I'm tilting the canvas also, because we need to get the paint on the edges of the canvas, because canvases aren't framed, so the edge of the canvas is the frame, so to speak. So what we're aiming for is to get a beautiful pattern along the side of the canvas as well. I'm just picking up some little bits to get them on the corners. Okay. And this is getting a little bit tricky to manoeuvre. So this one is a little bit more abstract than some of the other ones that I've been doing lately. So the Poseidons, the Poseidon paintings, the Tempest, they were real beautiful ocean pieces. Okay, I'm actually starting to quite like this. It looks like there's a stream down here and some pink flowers and some greens and pink grasses. So I'm just going to walk this back, and there is quite a lot of paint on here. We don't want to leave too much paint on the canvas, because what happens is the paint cracks if you have it overloaded. So it's about getting the right amount of paint on to give you the composition that you're looking for, and then pouring off the right amount. Okay. And there's actually some really beautiful patterns coming now. So if you can see, there's a lot of flowers here. And there's some beautiful pink reeds. And once again, this is an abstract piece. So I'm just going to play with this now, just for a little while, until I actually start getting exactly what I want with the composition. I'm loving this bottom section. Really, really pretty. Just going to tilt it this way. So a lot of people might think that fluid art is easy. It's actually quite difficult to actually get the science right behind mixing with the paint, because it is a science in terms of what mediums you use, what effects you want to get. Now let me just see. And there's some beautiful water lilies here in this section, which I will take a photograph of when I'm done. I just need to see what exactly I want to do now. If I want to tilt any more paint off, if I want to maneuver any more sections, or if I'll leave it as it is. There have been so many paintings that I've decided that I wanted to keep going on, and I've regretted it later on because they were actually really beautiful pieces. So I'm always careful now when it comes to when something looks good. I'm always careful with exactly how much time, how much more movement I want to have on the composition, because I can completely take something that looks really, really good to something that doesn't look so good, to my eye anyway. So I'd like to actually pour off some of this bit here, but there's patterns on the other side that I'm really, really loving. So it's just how far do I take it is the question. Okay. I'm not liking that, so I'm just going to come back this way. And I might actually, I'm going to lose part of what I really like at the end of the canvas, but I want to really break up that line from the centre. Okay. All right. So I'm just really slowly moving it now, taking some of the paint back down towards the centre. And as I do that, you can see new patterns forming on this corner. Hopefully you can see. It's still in shot. But I'm not liking that corner there, so what I'm going to do is from this end, I'm just going to slide this back and tilt it towards that end, just to run off some of that section that I don't like so much. And once again, always being careful when I do that, because I don't want to destroy any of the sections that I actually really love. So bringing it back. And just taking that back down again. Okay. All right. So I don't think I want to play with this one too much more. I'm going to just give it a quick go over with the heat gun again and see what more patterns I can form with the heat. And then I think that it's done. But I do have the next hour or so where if there's anything I don't like, I can still come back can still come back and tilt it again a bit more if I need to. Okay. Just seeing what cells I can pop up. Okay, so I'm just going to turn my camera off now, and I'll take some photographs and I'll post them. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.